Yo, what's good everyone, and welcome to another video. As you can see, today we are on a game that I've actually been wanting to cover for quite some time now, known as Factory Simulator. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I've played a little bit of this. As you can see on the top, I'm at 458,000, and most recently they went ahead and dropped a complete overhaul update for the game where they introduced a bunch of crazy new things, and on top of that, they pretty much changed how the entire game kind of like operates. As you can already tell, I haven't played since the recent update, and really what's been holding me back from making a video on this game is the fact that there is kind of like a lot to really take in. Just to give you guys a quick breakdown on what the game is about, I'll kind of read what it says in the front page, but it says, harvest the world's resources to build up your industrial empire, build machines to cut trees, transport goods with conveyors, refine and sell for massive profits. So in other words, it's pretty simple. You kind of have like all these ores spread around. You can basically come up to them and mine them if you would like to, then walk up and pick it up. Then basically you would make your way over to your plot, place down one of the cell zones that are given to you, and then drop it here, and now you've made a little bit of money. It sounds really simple, but the really cool thing about this game is that you can create your own layout to make the most amount of money. And if I go ahead and open up my inventory here, you'll notice that these are basically a couple of things that I have, which I'll go ahead and place these down and we'll build a little bit of something so you can kind of take a look at what I'm talking about. But before we do that, I want to drive around really quick. Yes, there is vehicles in the game. This is basically the cheapest one because like I said, I haven't really played too much, but the vehicles do get a lot bigger with a lot more storage. So let's kind of go around here and take a look at some of the different things that people have built. Like for instance, this guy right up here, you can tell that he is probably extremely rich just based off of the size of his actual base. So if you notice right over here on the left hand side, that is the other big vehicle that I told you that is available. And then this is kind of his base right here. He has some pretty intricate stuff going on. So just to kind of break it down to you guys, this is I guess we can call it an ore auto farm. So this kind of spits out ore every so often. It's going through what I'm assuming is some type of a smelter, and then he has 3 tree auto farms connected to that same conveyor, which is being sent down to a sawmill where it's then pressed into kind of like a plank and sold. So yeah, like I said at the start of this video, there is really a lot to take in this game, and that's why it's been really difficult for me to record a video on it. I feel like for these type of games, it's more entertaining to just go ahead and play through the game, make some really intricate layouts, and then share them with you guys. I feel like that's usually the coolest thing. But man, this guy has so many crazy things going on here. So let's not waste any more time. I'm gonna make my way back to my base here, and let's get building on our own very first farm. Wait a minute, someone pro just said uncle and dropped this diamond. What is this? That's worth 135 bill. What? Well, he kind of dropped it in my base, but I'm not 100% sure how to pick it up. Wait, he's telling me to place a cell pad. I don't understand. What is that gonna do for me? I don't get it. 135 bill, but it doesn't give it to me. It gives it to him. So that's pretty cool. I feel like it's kind of a good thing that you're not able to give other people things, because it would kind of defeat the purpose of the game. Really, the whole point of the game is to get really rich off of extremely intricate layouts. Also, before I forget, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Drop a like on this video if you do end up enjoying it. I'm gonna go ahead now and open up the help menu because there has to be some new explanations on some of the new stuff that they added. So right here, this is new, which is having to tier up your harvester. It says upgrade your harvester to unlock new resources. Find recipes by looking at machines in the shop. Find the location of resources by checking their harvester's descriptions. And it looks like that's pretty much everything. Okay, so that really didn't help me out that much. But let's kind of go ahead and just wing it here since I have more or less a general idea on how this works. So let's start off with my advanced tree farm here. I'm going to place this right over here in the corner, and then we're going to flip this around, leave double spaces for my conveyor. And there we go. We have both of our advanced tree farms just facing each other. Obviously, it's not going to be doing anything right now because I don't have a conveyor down or a cell pad. But let me place down these other 4 tree farms that I have, and then we'll go ahead and set up the rest. All right, so there we go. We have ourselves a nice little lineup of 2 advanced, and then the rest are just kind of like regular tree farms. If you notice, these little squares that are right here, I kind of face them inwards. That's because that is where the trees are going to be coming out and being spit into the conveyor. So let me go back into my inventory here, straight conveyors, and then let's drop these going down right here. As you notice, wood is already dropping out, and at this point I can go ahead and do 2 separate things. I can go into my inventory, grab a cell pad, and just kind of drop it right here at the very end. So that way basically every single thing that's coming out is going to be sold instantly for $10 or 10 money, whatever it is that you want to call it. But obviously that is extremely cheap and really just not worth it. So what I'm going to do is delete the cell pad. We're going to come back into my inventory, and you'll notice that I have a tier 1 cutter. So I'm going to place this now right over here, and this is going to turn all of the wood into, I guess, these little like planks or tiles, whatever it is that you want to call it. So now if I grab grab my sell pad and place it here at the end, that now sells for 25 instead of 10. And again, that's the whole point of the game, is to kind of expand your farms with more and more, so that way you are making ridiculous amounts of money. Like for instance, he's showing me that these gems that he's making are about 75 trillion a piece. That's insane considering I'm making a sad little 25 coins every single time that one of these sell. Now, to get more of these kind of like auto farms, you basically want to click on the shopping cart down here, and this is the entire shop in the game right now. Well, for tier 1, because like I mentioned before, I could, if I wanted to, come over here to the tier 1 harvester, and it's going to cost me $3,000. This gains me access to sand and copper ore. For the sake of the video and to see if the shop really does change, because I don't even know if that's how it is, I'm going to click on upgrade, and there we go. Now our next one is tier 2, and that is 27,000, which we can also afford if we really wanted to. But let me see. Yeah, so now we have new items inside of the shop, because I don't believe that any of these advanced ones were down here. Now I'm kind of curious. I'm going to upgrade it one more time. Let's see if it changes again. This time it says we're going to have access to gold ore, iron ore, and hardwood trees. So there we go. Now tier 3 is 6.25 million. That's insane. We got a long way to go before we get there. But yes, if you notice, now even more things have been added. As a matter of fact, we have access to tier 2 things now. So this is really, really cool. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and drop 215,000 on this one, and it's a tier 2 cutter. But at the same time, I don't really think it's worth it, because that'll pretty much leave us completely broke right now. We're only at 430k. But inside of my inventory, I do have 4 stone mines and 1 iron mine with a tier 2 press, as well as a tier 3 furnace. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do here is grab our stone mines, and we're going to place them down right over here. And now I'm going to go into the shop and make sure to see what the tier 2 press does and the tier 3 furnace, because I actually don't think that you can put stone inside of a furnace, but I also could be very, very wrong. Yeah, you can't. So the furnace smelts ores into ingots, but it only does sand into glass and copper ore into copper ingots. Now I'm kind of curious. Are stone considered rocks, or are they considered stone? Because technically, if I get a tier 1 cutter and my stone farms produce rock, then I can turn them into stone slabs and then kind of run them through again and turn the stone slabs into stone tiles, which would make me 35. I mean, they're really only $950 a piece, so what does it hurt to try, right? So let's grab 2 of these, which actually I just accidentally grabbed 3 of them because I didn't realize that when you click on it, it just instantly buys it. Let's go back into our inventory, place down these straight conveyors, and then let's grab a tier 1 cutter and see what happens here. Does this do anything to the stone? I do not believe this does anything to your stone. Oh, it does. It does. It turns it into the slabs. Perfect. So then in theory, if I dropped another conveyor here and put another one of the tier 1 cutters down, this should technically turn it into tiles, and it is indeed doing that. That is really, really cool. I like that. So now we're really getting the most out of our stone. We can go ahead and place a cell pad right at the very end. Unfortunately, it looks like everything is kind of backed up here, so we're gonna have to pick up a couple of things, which is honestly no big deal. Should go back to running pretty smoothly, like you can see right here. And there we go. Now we're getting $35 per stone, and that's pretty sick, man. Now another thing that I do have in my inventory is a iron mine, but I only have 1 of them, so it's a little unfortunate, especially since I need to buy a tier 2 furnace in order to even be able to turn those into iron ingots. But actually, I'm reading right now, and it says that iron ore gives you $750, so it might be beneficial for me to just drop this by itself, slap kind of like a singular conveyor right in front, and then just actually we're gonna have to put 2, and then just go ahead and place down a cell station. In theory, this should be making me $750. Yeah, it does. Whoa, this game is definitely really cool, man. It gets your mind kind of flowing. And if you guys have been here with the channel for a very long time, you know that I did a lot of this auto farm stuff when Islands first released. And I mean, I obviously like to work on different layouts when it comes to like all of the my games, so this is like kind of right down my alley. I'm gonna be playing this a lot as soon as I jump off of here, making hopefully a lot of progress and coming up with some really cool stuff. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in seeing more content on this. I know we didn't really accomplish the absolute most, but this is one of those games where it's kind of really slow paced, and you really have to wait until you capitalize the most out of all of your little farms to then go ahead and expand to really, really massive farms. In order for us to go ahead and get ourselves a second land plot, it's going to cost me 750,000, then 500 mil, and then 15 trillion. So we got quite a bit of farming to do. Again, if you would like to see a series on this, I would love to go ahead and make some more videos on this. But before I end off the video, I have a random idea that I just got in my mind, and I kind of want to test this out. So let's go ahead and open up the shop here again. Is there a corner conveyor? Yes, there is a left turn conveyor. Let me get one of those. Open up my inventory here, and let's place down a straight conveyor right here, another straight conveyor right here, and then at the very end, we're gonna slap a left turn. The reason for this is because I remembered that I have a tier 3 furnace. So in theory, I needed to purchase a tier 2 furnace in order to be able to smelt all of my iron ore. So technically, the tier 3 furnace should do everything that the tier 1 and tier 2 do, correct? Only one way to really find out, and that is by testing this. So there we go, and it looks like indeed they are being turned to something else. Let's go. Big brain play right there. So now let's place the cell pad at the end, and how much are we making? 1.45k each time. Let's go. This is so much fun, dude. Okay, tier 2 press, which looking over here, this actually turns iron ingots into iron plates. So wait a minute, does that mean I think we can sell the cell pad now, grab the tier 2 press, put it right here, and it does. It turns it into this. So now these should technically sell for 1.45k, I think, or 1.65. Let's see. Yeah, 1.65k. Yo, let's go. Okay, dude, I'm having way too much fun with this right now. All right, so this is kind of like our finished product for our first episode here on the channel. I'm gonna keep grinding here for a bit, and I'm gonna come up with some really interesting ideas. Again, if you enjoyed this, make sure to drop a like on it. That's gonna go ahead and do it for today. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.